Well, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to, I guess this is Thursday, June the 2nd. We're off and running, huh? Off and running. Good morning. You know how this goes. We've done this before. If you're up here with us this morning, y'all, I'm in Tennessee. I'm still there right now, and it is still early, y'all. So we're an hour behind all you fine folks there. Good morning, Brooke. Oh my gosh, Brooke Watkins is living the summer dream, and y'all are at the lake every day, making me so jealous. No, but we're on, man. We're ready to roll. I am ready to get this summer cranked up. I'm ready to get some of these, get you guys rocking and rolling this summer, and continuing the momentum, y'all, that we've had. Good morning, Angel. Christy flew back to Georgia last night, so there's a significant possibility that she will not be on this call with us this morning. I haven't heard from her. She said she was going to, but she was super tired last night. Good morning, Jolie. How is everybody? Hope everybody is fantastic. As everybody starts jumping on here and telling us good morning again, y'all know how this works. If you're up with us, you're up early with us, get on the comment in there and say good morning or hello or thumbs up and use that to react. A couple weeks ago, I think y'all know this, we started streaming these live on YouTube as well. So we're going to try to grow our YouTube audience. So if y'all have not gone to YouTube and subscribe to Exit Realty Lake Country's channel, please do that today so we can get those subscriptions up, share that channel, and we're going to start growing our YouTube channel as well, because I'm not sure if y'all know this, but YouTube sometimes goes a lot farther. When I say sometimes, it's like sometimes, but YouTube goes a lot further than Facebook does. And so it gets us a little more credibility with Google, which is going to help all of you guys in the long run. So the better Exit Realty Lake Country is, the better all of us are. So if y'all would go ahead and jump in there and today subscribe to that Exit Realty Lake Country YouTube channel. That'd be awesome. As you can tell, Georgia pollen is still whipping my tail. It's making its way through my body. Started in my nose, into my head, and into my chest, and now we're trying to just get rid of it. So hopefully we'll get that all cleared out, and we'll be good to go soon enough. So get some more folks on here. I want to talk some about yesterday and kind of what we talked about yesterday morning, and then I want to go into what I want, kind of what I want you guys to think about today. Um, Repping the Home Loan Expert shirt. So a shout out to the Home Loan Expert, Ryan Kelly. The Home Loan Expert, if y'all have not had a chance to meet Ryan Kelly, good morning, Michelle. Meet Ryan Kelly, meet all his folks. They'll be at the Southeast Rally, which just got released yesterday. Y'all, do not have FOMO this time. They just announced the Exit Southeast Rally at Universal next year. Go ahead and sign up. I promise you, those tickets are going to sell out. Okay, sign up for the rally. Get your room space. Get your hotel space. Get all that done. I don't remember the dates, but it just got released on Facebook yesterday. Stacy put it out yesterday, and that's Exit Southeast Rally. So for those of you who went to the rally last year in Orlando, you remember how fun that was and how much we learned, what we came away with. I mean, that was a very, very good event. A lot of us, that's where Coach Burt really kind of reinvigorated all of us to jump back in with him. That's been beneficial for a lot of you. I don't know who they've planned to bring in this year, but when Stacy and Kenny throw a rally or throw a party, it's a blast. So don't miss out. Go ahead and sign up for your rally. Go ahead and get your tickets. Go ahead and get the dates in your calendar. Make sure you're there. Okay. Good morning. Who is that? Good morning, Millie. Busy day today. I hope it's a busy day today for you guys as well. But I wanted to talk I want to talk a little bit about yesterday and kind of how we finished up that call yesterday. Was talking about that childlike spirit, talking about going back and looking at the world, looking at your business, looking at your life, looking at your personal relationships with kind of that childlike anticipation. Do you guys have any comments from that yesterday? Was that beneficial? Were you able to do it? Did you gain any insights from yesterday? Was there anything anything that happened yesterday as a result of that call that you can say, man, I did this and this happened. So if you've got something like that, go ahead and put that in the comments. I'd love to see it. Um, because I know that a lot of times we don't get to see the tangible benefits. And that's the crazy thing about this business is we watch you guys get better. We see your numbers. We can quantify you guys are better now than you were when you started. And we can quantify that with how much money you're making, or how many deals you're closing, or the volume of your sales volume. We can quantify all those things through that. But but what we can't quantify is the impact of conversations like yesterday, conversations like today, those things in your mind and in your heart and your belief system and in your brain that are getting rewired, that are getting sort of recalibrated. We can't really quantify that. Good morning, Lynn. So I love to hear feedback from y'all. If there are things that again, like from yesterday's call, if there was something yesterday that was pretty impactful, something that you remembered, something where you were being in the moment, being present, and being right there in that moment, you had a an epiphany or a revelation or something that got you going to the next step, or a conversation that you had yesterday as a result of that childlike, um, no ego, right? You didn't have that adult stone face on. So anything? Comments? Nothing? I'm gonna wait for a second. No comments? Nothing. Everybody typing? Nobody's typing? Type, type, type. Type, type, type. No. Good morning, Bailey. Bailey, I'm gonna apologize to Bailey in front of the group. We had a brief moment of we had a brief moment with Bailey yesterday, but we're all good. I think we sort of jumped the gun a little bit. Um, so sorry, Bailey. Love you, man. I want to. I'm trying to find a spot in this book. So I'm reading a new book called The Rewired Brain. Y'all know I'm always reading a book. Um, but there was something in the first part of this book I'm super, super excited about. Um, because I truly do believe, I think there's scientific proof, there's enough studies out, there are enough things that are out right now that show that a human being can rewire their brain, regardless of past trauma, regardless of past experiences. Good morning, Mags. Regardless of any of those things, a human being can rewire their brain. There's scientific proof. This book um, is all about that, and it's funny that I was just listening to some things the other day. Dr. Joe Dispenza, of course, y'all have heard me. I put something on Facebook about Dr. Joe not too long ago. He does the whole neuroplasticity. He talks about rewiring your brain, the coherence of heart and mind and brain and heart function, and when you're coherent and kind of you're in that present moment, all the things that we kind of teach you guys. And then I find this book on the kitchen counter because Lainey had bought it, I think, for either Mother's Day or Easter for Christy. So I picked it up and started reading it. And so you saw this call is we're off to see the Wizard. And how many? And everybody has seen the Wizard of Oz. I mean, please tell me there's 9 of you on this call. Please tell me that every one of you have seen the Wizard of Oz. Thumbs up, yeses. I've seen it. Comments, fingers moving. Come on. Yep, there's a one. Okay, so we got somebody that's seen it. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm assuming most of you have seen The Wizard of Oz, and we all know the story, right? Tornado girl goes to the land of Oz. finds all the munchkins. Munchkins take care of. There's a witch trying to get her, a good witch trying to get her, and a bad witch trying to get her. Bad witches got flying monkeys, which scared the absolute dog crap out of me when I was a kid. I mean, I swear to y'all, the flying monkey scene and the flying monkey scene. Joe, you got a girl. The flying monkey scene and the Wicked Witch of the West scared me to death. When I was a kid, I mean, trembling scared. So funny. Tin Man, Lion, Scarecrow, they all come together and they go do their things, right? For so long, a lot of us just look at that as a movie. It's just an entertaining movie. They're Dorothy's trying to get back to her home. She's trying to get back to Kansas. They say, "Oh, I know who I can take you to. You go to this wizard guy. He's the one that can do it." And they finally get to the wizard, and they find out the wizard's fake. They find out the wizard is nothing more than a little bitty dude with a big microphone behind the curtain, making this big production and making people believe that he had some power that he didn't. Now, neat story. What if you really dove into that story? What if you really dove into that story and went from just a surface level to a deeper dive? And even deeper than the fact that the Tin Man wanted a heart, and the Lion wanted courage, and the Scarecrow wanted a brain, and that's why they were all going. And Dorothy just wanted to get home, right? Those are a little deeper. That there was a battle between good and evil, and the Wicked Witch of the West, the Wicked Witch, the Good Witch, Linda the Good Witch. Those two were opposing forces. Okay, that's a little deeper. What if you go a little bit deeper than that? The wizard was not really a wizard, but more just somebody who spoke words and had people believing certain things and had the ability to change what people thought because of this grandeur or this intimidation or this platform that he had created for himself. Go a little deeper than that. And that's this book. This is what it says. Like Dorothy, many of us are lost in the inner dimensions of our minds, trying to discover who we are and why we're here. We wander through a wilderness of bewildering and difficult places, situations, and relationships. Perhaps most menacing are the cyclones of our past experiences, such as traumatic childhoods, critical broken relationships, difficult life transitions, which produce in us fear, shame, anxiety, and depression. I'm reading it one more time. Like Dorothy, many of us are lost in our inner dimensions, the inner dimensions of our minds, trying to discover who we are and why we're here. We wander through a wilderness of bewildering and difficult places, situations, and relationships. Perhaps most menacing are the cyclones of our past experiences, such as traumatic childhoods, critical broken relationships, difficult life transitions, which produce in us fear, shame, anxiety, and depression. I'm going to stop right there. The movie was about Dorothy being from a place of comfort to now a place of discomfort. There was a traumatic experience that launched Dorothy from a place of comfort at Auntie M's house, living on a farm in Kansas. There was a traumatic event that sent her to the land of Oz, an unknown place, a weird place that it was in. If you look at the movie, it was completely colorful. There was a reason why Kansas was black and white and Oz was colorful. It was completely different than anything she'd ever been involved in. Dorothy was completely out of her comfort zone, completely out of her comfort zone. So she'd been taken from a place of comfort, sent into a place of discomfort. I had this conversation with Jagger yesterday. Do you realize that every habit that you have right now started from a place of discomfort? That every single habit you have right now started from a place of discomfort. Don't you think about that just a second. The conversation that I had with Jagger yesterday is that we, human beings, become comfortable in our habits. Even if our habits are wrong, we become comfortable in our habits. Your habits are nothing more than the end result of a collection of behaviors that you've done over and over and over and over. Think about how hard it was for you to tie your shoes, but you stuck with it and you wanted to quit and you got frustrated and you were crying and you told your mom and dad, I don't want to tie my shoes. You went to school, with your shoes untied. Hell, we got a 12-year-old who we have a hard time getting him to tie his shoes. But how hard it was for you to manipulate your fingers to learn how to tie your shoes. Now, I make an assumption that most of you on this call are pretty comfortable tying shoes. It's a pretty easy thing. Think about how uncomfortable you were when you first started driving a car and how scared you were, how fearful you were, how hard your heart was beating, especially if you had to learn how to drive with a stick shift. I remember not being so nervous in the car, driving a car with my dad that I wanted to quit driving. I didn't want to drive because he was just barking. My dad was a police officer, and he just barked at me the whole time, trying to drive the stick shift. And I'd miss gears, and I'd try to go from first to fifth or second to reverse, and it was awful. Riding the clutch, burning, it was, oh, gosh, traumatic experiences. Now, I'm pretty comfortable driving cars. I can drive a stick shift probably with the best of them. Every habitual behavior. Oh my gosh, Brooke, girl, y'all, m- y'all have hills. Y'all have hills. In Tennessee, they got lots of hills. I mean, there's red. I mean, we're at intersections like this. I remember having the emergency brake on in first gear, emergency brake on, and then trying to manipulate, get the emergency brake off, and then get the gear. Oh my God, it was awful. Whew, Lord, kick stalling it in the middle of the intersections. Oh, I mean, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. The point being, now Brooke is really comfortable probably driving a stick, or she quit. So that's one of your two choices. This again, because one of your two choices when you're uncomfortable is either quit being uncomfortable and go back to a place of comfort, or force your way, push your way, challenge yourself to continue in that uncomfortableness until being uncomfortable becomes comfortable. We talked about it yesterday. How about when I told we talked about the conversation about me and Christy running. Okay. What would happen in the book again? What would happen if you discovered you had within you the capacity to heal your past brokenness, to direct the transformation of your mind and your life? Read it. Well, I'm going to ask you a question one more time. What would happen if you discovered you had within you the capacity to heal your past brokenness, to direct the transformation of your mind and your life? What would happen if you finally realized you have more power over on your sorry, what would happen if you finally realized you have more power over your unhealthy behaviors, painful feelings, and harmful interactions than you think? What would happen if you finally realize you have more power over your unhealthy behaviors, painful feelings, and harmful interactions than you think? What would happen if you realized the past devastation and current chaos of your life could become the critical lessons necessary to move you to a higher state? What would happen if you could unleash the power of your mind to live your best life? Because what Glinda the Good Witch told Dorothy at the very, very end, think about this. Think about the conversations when they finally get to, I got children now. When you finally get, that's exactly right. Brooke, you're exactly right. You'd be limitless. If you figured this stuff out, if you figured out what you had the ability to do, if you figured out exactly, I got y'all, this is it. You'd be limitless. There's nothing you couldn't do. There's no relationship you couldn't have. There's no goal you couldn't crush. There's no business you I'm so sorry, y'all. You would be absolutely limitless. There'd be nothing you couldn't do. Think about the story. When Dorothy talks to the lion, when Dorothy talks to the Tin Man, and Dorothy talks to the Scarecrow, and she tells the Scarecrow, "You've always had a brain. It's always been in there. You've always been smart." When she tells the lion, "Lion, you've always had courage. Look at what you're doing. You've always had courage." The Tin Man, the heart, the spirit of the Tin Man, "You've always had a heart." But it wasn't until they realized they had a brain, they had courage, that they had heart, that it really mattered, that it really took. Glinda the Good Witch told Dorothy, "You've always had the power inside you to get back home. You just had to realize it." Christy in her office in Eatonton in Greensboro, sorry, has got the Glinda the Good Witch quote. "My dear, you always had the power to do this. It's been inside you the whole time. You just had to realize it." It's something I'm paraphrasing, but it's something to that effect. What if I can get you to realize? What if I could get every one of you on this call, everybody that watches this call, what if I could get you to realize that you had the power to change the world? All that power was within you. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all just pause. Think about that question. I'm gonna go. Okay, no, there we go. Sorry, I had to get my head cleared out. Sorry about that. So, Brooke, I promise you, that's what we're doing, and that's what I'm going to teach you. And I am if you guys can plug into this, if you guys can plug into this and do the things that are uncomfortable, because I promise you, the Bible is saying the exact same thing, all throughout the scriptures. It talks about you finding who you are. You are created in God's image. Walk, you're creating God's image. God said, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes." This is what Jesus said. "I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." The Bible also says you were created in God's image, which means you were created in the image of God, which is Jesus was created in the image of God. You were created in that image. The entire Bible talks about you walking out your purpose, spreading love, doing to others as you'd have them do unto you. All the things that the Bible talks about, you finding your way through this, meandering through, being love and light to other people, not being bitter. I could do this all day long. The entire Christian religion is built on love, and it's built on light, and it's built on life spoken through the individuals who walk that out. From an example of Jesus Christ being on the earth as the Son of God. We are doing nothing. We were saying nothing that you've not been taught, that you've not had poured into you. If you've been in church or you've been to Sunday school or you're a deacon or whatever. I don't know, they let women be deacons now. I don't, they do. They didn't used to, which is kind of strange. Um, Point being, You've had all this spoken into you since you were a child. We are now, me and Christy, you're in Exit Realty Lake Country. You're here for a reason. We get to speak into your life every single day. Every opportunity that we get to speak into your life. You have other people speaking into your life. Our job is to help connect some of those things together so that so the message flows, so this feeling flows, so this love flows, so this light flows. We're just here to put it all together. That's all we're here for. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to quantify for you guys when it actually happens because you see your business increase. You're more comfortable talking to people. You see that you're able to do more in the real estate business. You see that at the end of the year you're making more money than you were making at the end of last year. You see those things, and we have people that leave our company and say, I, I'm better off over here, right? Their businesses start to grow, their businesses start to blossom, and they think that they don't realize how much impact these conversations have on their business. That's the hard part to quantify. Okay. That's the hard part to say this caused that. As much of a hot mess as we are, I promise you this stuff is working. This stuff is working. So, Brooke, we're going to teach you. I'm going to, and it's not anything different than we've been saying to you from the beginning of you, the first day that you're with us. This, what I'm telling you right now, is not any different. It is, it is learning to be comfortable and being uncomfortable. It is learning to do things, embracing the suck, and learning to do things that sometimes you don't really like to do. Because I promise you, the past traumatic childhood experiences may be nothing more than when you were 4 years old, there was a toy that you wanted really, really bad, and your mom and dad told you no. And at 4 years old, you didn't understand that your mom and dad were telling you no because they didn't have the money, you didn't need it, you already had that same toy at home for whatever reason. But as a 4 year old child, when you see something that means that much to you, and someone who can make it happen says no to you, that creates trauma. That creates trauma. And they can explain to you in that moment, this is why, this is the deal, this is why this happened. I promise y'all, there for me, Aaron Dwyer sitting in this chair, probably up until about maybe 3 years ago, I had serious, serious trauma as it relates to money, as it relates to finances, as it relates to I would self sabotage myself over and over and over and over as it relates to money because I grew up in a family and my early childhood experiences were no, 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 no. Now, as an adult, not having to worry about I say not having to worry about money. Not having to worry about money like I didn't have to worry about like I had to worry about money then. I can say yes a lot more than I can say no to my kids. And sometimes we say yes a lot more to our kids than we probably should. That's the flip side of that. But I had to work through that trauma. There's still lingering things that are there just from being in a place when I was in fourth grade, wanted to play football, and my dad told me I couldn't play football because they couldn't afford the pads. Being told no, I mean, I've been to a bunch of Christmases. I remember this. Lots and lots of Christmases where at my house, at my mom and dad's house, there's nothing under the tree. Not one thing. And there was not any Christmas for me until we got to my grandmother's house. So I've got some of those past childhood traumas that really in the whole scheme of things aren't that big a deal, but they are. And those past experiences that we have as a child follow us into adult life, which for most of us create the fear and the anxiety when it's time for us to go make that phone call, to go make that cold call, when it's time for us to go ask for a referral, when it's time for us to go knock on a door, when it's time for us to follow up with somebody that we just met, when it's time for us to do the things that we have to do as adults in our job, in our profession as a real estate, as a real estate professional, we'll shrink back from that responsibility and not do it because Excuse me, we are uncomfortable. And why do you think you're uncomfortable? We talk about this all the time. Why do you shrink back? Why do we shrink back from doing things that we're not sure what the outcome is going to be? Why do we not do it? I want you to answer. I want you to put in the comments, okay? I want somebody to comment and tell me why you would do it. If I set a telephone in front of you and I gave you 15 phone numbers and there were 15 names and 15 phone numbers on this sheet of paper, and I sit look at me like I'm 65 years old. I'm gonna set a rotary phone in front of you. Y'all don't know what that is. So Camellia said, fear of the unknown, which is exactly true. And then Lynn said, those things fill our trunks with junk. We drive them around with us all the way through our lives if we don't find healing from them. Now, y'all understand, Lynn works with women who deal with serious, like what we would consider if we had a list of like me not getting to play football when I was in fourth grade, pretty benign traumatic experience. That's a real relatively bad one or easy one. Lynn works with folks. If you had a list of really bad traumatic experiences for women, that's what she works with. So Lynn knows what she's talking about. We'll carry these traumatic experiences around with us, almost like Dorothy carried around, almost like the Tin Man carried around. I don't have a heart. Like the courage, the lion carried around. I don't have any courage, or like the scarecrow carried around. I don't have a brain. They said those things based on their past experiences. They carried that opinion of themselves based on their past experiences. And if you, like Lynn said, are carrying a bunch of junk in your trunk, and not the good kind of junk in your trunk, but the bad kind of junk in your trunk, if you carry that stuff around with you, okay, it's easy for you to fall back on that comfort, even though it's wrong, even though it's bad for you. So we got to find a way to help you be comfortable in the uncomfortable, help you, encourage you, teaching you. Okay, that's okay, Lynn. You're on it because I said this yesterday. If we don't know how to process what's happened to us, that becomes our identity. It becomes your personal reality, which then becomes and is your personality. Your thoughts and emotions create beliefs. Your beliefs create your habits. Your beliefs and habits together create your personal reality. That's what you walk around and see every single day. Your personal reality is your personality. So until you disconnect from your past beliefs, until you sever the tie from your past beliefs into a new set of beliefs that are going to carry you to a different place, you your personality isn't going to change. There's 8 of you on this call. Lynn, Millie, Brooke, Jolie, Angel, Maggie, Bailey, okay? And then whoever else. So the 8 of you on this call right now, I'm telling you right now, I've seen some of you major transformations in your personalities, some of you minor transformations in your personalities. Some of you are still working on getting there because you've not yet severed from your belief of yourself from the past. And your beliefs are based on a collection of your thoughts and emotions on past experiences instead of creating a new set of belief patterns for your new life here, moving forward. Exit Realty Lake Country, being a real estate agent, being a mom, being a dad, being a brother, being a sister, being whatever we are. Okay, we've got to sever the ties of the past experiences with relationships, with the past phone calls for sale by owners. Millie said it, fear of the unknown. Do you realize? Do you realize? And I said this in this part of my conversation with Jagger yesterday. If from the time Jagger was born and started wearing shoes, I put his right shoe on his left foot and put the left shoe on his right foot, And that's all he'd ever known is wearing the right shoe on the left foot, the left shoe on the right foot. And from the time he wore shoes, that's what he got used to. And at 6 or 7, 8 or 9 years old, Christy comes along and says, Jagger, why are you wearing your shoes on the wrong feet? Switch your shoes and put them on the right feet. Even though those shoes are intended to be worn on the correct feet, switching those shoes to the opposite feet would be so uncomfortable for him that he wouldn't be able to stand it. And he would take his shoes off as soon as he got out of Christy's eyesight, and he would flip them back on his other feet because that's what he's used to. Do you realize that? How many things in your life do you do out of habit, out of just being unconscious and going through your day? How many things do you do that are not good for you personally, not good for you professionally, not good for you socially? And there's probably small things. They're probably just small things. But you won't do it because you have some connection to the past or some connection to some past experience that creates for you and reinvigorates in you some traumatic experience and the feeling of that trauma from the past. Think about that. Think about that. What do you do right now? What do you not do right now that you should do? What do you do right now that you shouldn't do? Paul said, I do the thing, I know what to do. I know to do the right things, but I still do the wrong things. I know to do the right things, but I still do the wrong things. I know what to do, but I don't do it. And I do the things I don't want to do. Paul said that. The author of the majority of the New Testament wrote in the Bible, I know what to do, but I don't do those things. And I know what not to do, and I do those things anyway. Sorry, y'all. Christy's texting me. She's having traumatic experience right now. Y'all get that? This is going to take some investigation on your part. This is going to take some serious, you guys taking a look at what you do on a daily basis. And summertime's a great time to reflect. Okay, it's a great time to reflect. You've got time to spend with your kids. I thought that thing that I put on yesterday was so freaking good. You got time to reflect with your children. What can you pour into them right now? What can you pour into them right now that's going to help them when they get your age? Because I promise, Jagger gets earfuls from me, and not angry earfuls, but I try to pour so much into him because we have time in the car together. If I can get Cade to sit and listen, I would try to pour into him. But I know that Jagger on the other side of his parental unit has got yin and yang, right? So he's got one that's trying to pull him down and one that's trying to lift him up. And we're trying to find I'm trying to find some equilibrium for him so that he moves more to a positive place than a negative place. So what are you doing right now that you know you shouldn't do? What are you not doing that you should do? And I can't answer that. Only you can. The fear of the unknown is based on past traumatic experiences. Because I promise you, it's not fear of the unknown. It's not. It's fear, but it's fear of the known because the fear comes from you expect to be rejected. Think about this. If you listen to me, that fear comes from your expectation that you're going to be rejected. That fear comes from you expecting that the outcome is not going to be what you want it to be. The fear comes from you're going to say something during the conversation that's going to make you seem stupid. And when you sound stupid to someone else, they're going to reject you. The fear comes from a traumatic experience based in the past. Y'all get that? Do you realize that the people that come through your spirit, the names that come into your mind, the people that come into your path have been placed there for a reason? And so many times you hear a conversation in the corner of the restaurant about real estate, and that conversation in the corner of the restaurant about real estate is an invitation for you to go introduce yourself to them because God has placed them in that restaurant at that moment because they need someone like you, Camellia Hurt, to go talk to them and take care of them. Because the people in that restaurant talking about real estate need somebody like Bailey Leonhurst to go talk to them and take care of them. But what we do the majority of the time is we say, I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to pester them. I don't want to go over there and talk to them. And that sounds really, really good. It sounds very, very friendly and very, very southern. It does. It sounds super, super sweet. Dorothy in a tornado ended up in Kansas, but that ain't what it was about. Dorothy went to Oz to change the way Oz is. Dorothy went to Oz to reveal what Oz truly was. Dorothy went to Oz to help the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man realize who they were. Dorothy went to Oz to let the Munchkins understand that the great and powerful Oz wasn't great and powerful at all. Dorothy didn't go to Oz for Dorothy. Dorothy went to Oz for everybody else. As soon as you get, as soon as you realize that what you're doing right now ain't about you, that what you're doing right now in your life, in real estate, in your profession, in your social media accounts, in your TikToks, it isn't about you. It's about how you can help other people. As soon as you get that, fear of rejection will go away. Fear of loss will go away. Those things will dissipate because you're going to be able to replace those things with hope of help, hope of assistance. Hope defeats fear. And when you pick up the telephone and you call somebody that you don't know, and you know in your heart you've got something that can help other people be better, you've got something in your heart that can help other people get from A to B, that you're not a real estate agent, like other real estate agents who are just out there looking for a commission, that you're a real estate agent who's actually looking at the benefit of that to help that family and how you can benefit that family and put them in a better place and help their kids be in a better school, help the husband and if you ever realize this, there's no stopping you. You are limitless. You're limitless. Lynn just said, what if we stopped walking in fear and became fearless or walking in confidence and power? What if? What if you knew right now that all the power you needed to change the world around you, you had inside of you? What if today you stopped being fearful and you did one thing today that yesterday you were completely afraid of? And I don't care what it is. Jumping off the big rock at Lake Oconee, making five phone calls, pulling up into pulling up in a neighborhood and knocking on a couple of doors. I don't know what it is. What if we stopped walking in fear and became fearless and started walking in the confidence and power? It's all what if you realized, Dorothy, you already had it in you? What if you realized courage was already in you? What if you realized you already have a brain? What if you realized you already had the heart? I'm telling you right now, I'm your Dorothy today. And I'm telling you, you've always had it. You've always had it. It's always been in there. You just got to let go of the past. You got to let go of what you believe is going to happen because what you believe is going to happen is based on the past because it hasn't happened yet. And you have no idea how it's going to turn out. What if? What if you looked at today with a childlike anticipation? What if you looked at today with an innocence of a child? What if you looked at today completely fearless and said, I'm going to do the damn thing today. I'm going to do the damn thing today. What if today you embraced the suck and did it? Do you have any idea what's on the other side of that? Because I don't. I just know it's really, really good. It's really, really good. The Bible says, my Father's gone to heaven. He's there in the heavenlies. He's prepared a place for us at the table. The Bible says everything that you everything that you ask for is there. Ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. What if you just did the damn thing? What if you embraced the suck and did the damn thing today? I love y'all. So we've had a traumatic experience in Eaton. Apparently, two of the dogs are. Chrissy's on the golf cart looking for dogs right now. So she is obviously not joining us. I think that's enough for today. We're gonna dig into this. I think there's a place that we're going. I believe that there's a place this company's going. I believe there's a place the agents of this company are going. I believe not even from an exit in Georgia standpoint, not from an exit Southeast standpoint. I believe as soon as Christy and I came together, I've had a belief that Exit Realty Lake Country is going to be on a national scale and that we're going to transform the real estate industry. And I've always believed that we are going to have the attention, the platform, and the view and the ability to speak life into this industry. I really truly do. And every one of you are a huge part of that. Every one of you are a huge piece of that. Keep spreading the love. Keep having the conversations. Keep being open. Don't look away from the conversation in the corner of the restaurant. Go toward it. The people that are put in your life, have the conversations with them that need to be had. When someone comes through your spirit, call them. When someone comes across your head, through your mind, call them. Do the damn thing today. Okay? I love y'all. Bailey, you're so welcome. We love you guys so much. Absolutely love y'all to death. Love this company. Love what we're doing. Can't wait to see y'all next week. I'll see some of you today, hopefully, here in Mount Juliet. But be good, be great, be you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you guys.